Hello ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Jonah here once again, and today I present to you a Nissan GT-R Nismo / Nissan Nismo GT-R drift build setup. Please, if you know how to say that properly, leave it in the comments below because I clearly do not know what to call this thing. First we'll begin with a tune, then we'll head over to Tsukuba Circuit and a mystery circuit once again for the demonstrations, and some settings I'll have to set up before drifting. Once again, timestamps and links to last week's drift build setup video, which was for the Toyota GR Supra Racing Concept, and my drift build setup playlist will be in the description box below. Alright, let's head over to the tune. Alright, here we are for the tune. First we'll begin with your power ratio, which I'll have to set up to 126%. You'll have to upgrade to power level 2 to do this. Set your weight reduction to 85%. You'll have to upgrade to weight reduction level 5 for this. Set your traction control to 0. Set your tires to comfort softs on the front and comfort hards on the rear. Set brake balance to 0. Lower your ride height as much as possible, or 3.35. I believe this is in inches. Set your natural frequency to 2.10 in the front and 2.30 in the rear. Set your anti-roll bars to 4 in the front, 6 in the rear. Set your compression to 62 on the front and rear, and set your rebound to 92 front and rear. Set your negative camber angle to 1.0 in the front and 1.5 in the rear. Set your toe angle 0.5 out in the front and 0.4 in the rear. Make sure you are using a fully customizable LSD or a fully customizable mechanical limited slip differential. Set initial torque to 5 on the front, 20 in the rear. Acceleration 5 in the front, 60 in the rear. Set your braking sensitivity 5 in the front and 50 in the rear. And finally, make sure you are using a fully customizable transmission and set the top speed to 240 km per hour, or in miles per hour, 149.129 miles per hour. Or 149 miles per hour. And now with the tune done, we'll head over to Tsukuba Circuit to go over the drift settings and the demonstrations. Here we are once again on the beloved Tsukuba Circuit. And before we can pull out our Nismo GT-R out of our pockets and drift it, we must make sure our settings are correctly set up for drifting. Let's head over to the driving options over here. Make sure you're using a manual transmission or a transmission of the manual nature. Make sure your traction control is off. Make sure your auto drive is off. Driving line assist is off. Brake indicator is off. ASM is off. Counter steering assist is off. If you're drifting with counter steering assist, you're not drifting. You're just cheating. It's cheating. You don't want to be a cheater. And make sure your ABS is set to whatever you want it to be. I use default because I'm lazy when it comes to braking. I can brake without ABS, but I'm just lazy. Go to your advanced settings. Make sure your controller sensitivity is 7. Force feedback max torque is 10. And that is it. I do not know how to correctly set this up for wheel drivers. I apologize. Now that your settings are set up for drifting, we can now head on the track with our Nismo GT-R. Now we'll be going to Willow Springs Horse Thief Mile 2 for the final demonstration. And with that, that wraps up the demos. Just some tips before drifting the Nissan Nismo GT-R and all-wheel drive cars in general. With this tire setup, it can be difficult to drift at first. The rear tends to slide out a lot, so you have to be careful. And you're actually drifting, not power sliding, so you'll have to actively countersteer. The GT-R will not respond well if you're trying to transition without adding acceleration. This sounds kind of weird, but on screen, there'll be like an example. This isn't the best example, but once you start trying to drift it, you'll notice it. If you feel like you're entering a corner too fast and you're sideways, you can either 1. Use your brake or e-brake, or 2. Feather the accelerator super fast. Once again, I'll be showing an example on screen. All-wheel drive drift cars are usually faster than normal drift cars, so it's up to you to be a responsible driver and watch where you're going. The Nismo GT-R is yet another fun all-wheel drive drift car added to Gran Turismo Sport. It packs more power and weighs a tiny bit less than the stock GT-R in the game, which is, I think it's called the GT-R Premium Edition 17. Experienced hand, it's very well handling and a quick drift car. Now, would I recommend this to a first-time drifter or newbie? Definitely not, since it's quite expensive and easier handling options are available, such as the Nissan Skyline R33 GT-R V-Spec, links to that drift build are in the description box below, or the Nissan R35 GT-R Premium Edition 2017, or 17 apostrophe. Now if you have the money and or experience and the time, then by all means please purchase this car. One simply does not see a Nismo GT-R edition to the game and not purchase it, since it also looks really cool. And just overall, it is a great performer, because it performs. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it useful. Leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you disliked it. Comment down below what you thought. Once again, if you found it useful, any adjustments you saw that were useful or worked out for you, any suggestions for another drift build perhaps, leave that down there. And subscribe to keep up with my other GT Sport content and whatever I post on this channel. Once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day or night.